Right, so I kind of came out here and said a few months ago, back at the start of the Winnie the Pooh season for Disney Speedstorm, that I was going to basically just not play the game anymore, at least not make content on the game anymore, and I want to revoke that statement because basically I've gotten back into playing Disney Speedstorm, not as much as I had been, and I don't plan on having that be the sole focus of the channel. I don't plan on that being the sole focus of streams anymore, but I'm playing it on a much more casual basis. But I still wanted to come in here and talk about the roadmap that was released yesterday, because I think it's interesting. I think the seasons that were revealed were interesting. At least one of them is very interesting compared to what we have in the game so far. What the status quo and what the track record of the game has been, and what seasons have looked like previously. And yeah, we've got the next 3 seasons, and thank God this roadmap doesn't show a previously or already released season. Previously, in other roadmaps, the first season on the list of roadmap seasons is one that had A, already been revealed, or B, was the season that had dropped that week or that day. This roadmap is the 3 seasons after Zootopia, so the ones we don't already know about, or the ones that are, or basically what the next 3 seasonal releases are going to be. We did know that Cars was coming. We didn't, because we got that kind of still of Lightning McQueen with a towel over him. I don't know how they're going to do Cars in the format of how the game is so at the moment, having character customization as well as kart customization, because with Cars, the characters are the cars. So how do you do that? Are the cars going to be driving cars? I don't think so. I think the cars are the characters, and there's just going to be the kart customization is going to be the character customization, essentially. Also, we have a thing of the 3 characters look different. Every other season that's dropped, every other collection that's dropped, the kart is the same per character, it's just different colours. This time, we're basically getting 3 new kart designs, because the characters are the cars, again, like I said. So we're not getting a generic collection-wide kart. Instead, every kart's going to look different because the characters are the cars. We then have so that's the most interesting of the 3. What's the track going to be? Are we going to get the oval NASCAR thing, or are we going to get Radiator Springs, just bits of the film, like a showcase of big moments that happen in the film, a bit like Inside Out, a bit like The Incredibles, probably the most the one that you can just say, yeah, all the bits of the film are explored in this one track. It's probably Monsters Inc., because it does kind of, I don't think it explores every part of the film as well as it should, but it does explore every part of that film in a way. I just feel like it could have done it a bit better. It could have done more things with that track. I hope it's that and not like the the Candy Kingdom approach where it just takes one very specific moment in the, or a very specific thing that happens in the movie. Yes, big chunk of Wreck-It Ralph happens in Sugar Rush, but not the whole film. And you know, you've got a movie where you can go to any kind of video game. You could have gone into the tracks through the cable cords of the arcade machines. You could have done that. You could have had a bit that looked like an arcade machine, or looked like, you know, it looked like it turned the game like 8-bit for a section of it. You don't even go into Wreck-It Ralph. You don't even go to that game, you know. I don't know. I would like to see a Wreck-It Ralph second season where they kind of tweak up that track. I don't think we will, because the Toy Story one didn't. But I would like to see a tweak to the Wreck-It Ralph track where we add some other stuff that kind of goes into other games in that. But that's beside the point. That's a conversation to have another day, and a conversation I don't think a lot of people are ready to have. However, we're going to move on from that. The next season that we have shown off is a kind of slapshot, scattershot, Disney villains season. We don't have a specific movie that is going to get characters put into it. We're just going to get 3 at base villains from existing collections being dropped. So this is either mid-season characters that are going to be put into... These are either like mid-season characters that have one character in it, don't have a villain, or it's going to be like in the case of Mulan, we'll get Shan Yu. You know, I think it's Shan Yu, Mother Gothel, and Lady Tremaine are the characters that are being dropped, and then we might have like 2 more as well, maybe, as the mid-season. I think that's what it is. I don't know, but I think I really like this idea. I would have really liked if this was what we were doing from the start. If what we were doing from the start was having like the base game comes out and then there was a DLC pack per se that could have added like a bulk of tracks and then a bulk of characters that weren't specifically part of... Oh no, I think Syndrome is in the mix as well, maybe. You know, that's a character that a lot of people have been asking for, and you know, I would argue we should have got Syndrome instead of Frozone, but you know, Frozone's a good character in the game, and he's also Samuel L. Jackson, so you can't really say anything wrong against Samuel L. Jackson, can you? But anyways, yeah, I would have preferred if from the start we were just getting like big character drops that didn't necessarily have to be tied to one specific movie. Like we could have got a DLC pack that was just like generic villains or generic like ducks. Like just drop a load of duck-based characters like Darkwing Duck, Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey and Louie, a load of the... Or like a Disney Afternoon pack. I'm still waiting on Gargoyles. I'm still waiting on Goof Troop as well. I'm hoping for a Goofy movie season. If we can't get that, Goof Troop. I just want Max in the game. I also want Powerline. Powerline would easily make me probably not really spend money, but it's the closest the game could get to making me spend money, I guess. But then after the villain season in June, we're getting Peter Pan, which is something that I've mentioned Peter Pan in a previous characters that need to be put into Disney Speedstorm thing. I thought he was going to be mid-season. I thought we get Peter Pan, Captain Hook. I don't see any other character in that movie being 100% worth being made into a character. But we also have characters like Angel. We also have characters like Flash from Zootopia being put into the game. We also have, So I think it's probably going to be Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and Captain Hook. Or it's going to be Peter Pan, Wendy, Captain Hook. It's either going to be Tinkerbell or Wendy. And it's probably going to be Tinkerbell because, she's got a whole other movie franchise behind her as well, and probably the popularity. I think more people and can do more things with like skills and stuff. What the fuck has Wendy got? What's she got? I do think there's some interesting stuff that you can do with all three Peter Pan characters. Neverland is going to look amazing because it does. It always does. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Cars. I'm excited to get a slapshot, scattershot villain season. That season, I think, is the one I'm the least looking forward to because no track. No new track that season. But I do think, I think that's going to have the most variety in, like, new characters. And we are probably going to get something new, track-wise, whether it's, like, a new song. Hopefully they add, like, I don't even know because, Tangled doesn't have a track. Cinderella doesn't have a track. Shan Yu doesn't have a song in Mulan, so what can they add to that? Hopefully we get a little bit of an update to the Mulan track. We haven't been told that there will be, but why do it for Pirates and not for any other thing? I mean, I would argue Toy Story didn't need it, but those original launch tracks, I think, do need a touch up. We could just get like an extra music track for the Mulan stage because it's the only one that has a track to it. There isn't another song in The Incredibles, and I think Syndrome's going to be mid-season as well. I don't know why he would be because all of his other things. But the Incredibles tournament is already out. And, we've got precedent of characters that are already in the season boxes having other characters from the same collection being mid-season anyway. So I'm basically arguing myself out at that point anyways. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, especially with Cars, because that's the most different, and I think that could make things more interesting going forward, at least with, like, giving every character a different looking car going forward. I don't think they will, because, as we've seen, Disney Speedstorm is stepping back from that, but if we can get Cars, hopefully that means we can get stuff like Lion King in the future. Hopefully that means we can get, like, there is a load of stuff that we can get that's really exciting in the future. There's a load of movies that still haven't been touched. Obviously, Gargoyles. There's a load of stuff from Disney Afternoon that still hasn't been touched. So yeah, I think there's a ton. There's a load of things still. Right, Basil the Great Mouth Detective. I would love to see. At least mid-season of Basil and Ratigan. You know, and obviously the big one, Kingdom Hearts. I would love to see Kingdom Hearts representation in Disney Speedstorm. And don't fucking be a contrarian. Don't be in the comments like, we're not going to get that because it's Square Enix and, you know, too many things have to be signed and too many dotted lines. Pac-Man is in Sonic Crossworlds. Fucking Minecraft is in Sonic Crossworlds. They're getting Mega Man at some point in the future. Fucking Avatar The Last Airbender and Ninja Turtles are going to be in that game at some point. So don't tell me that if you can buy sea salt ice cream at Disneyland or Disney World, Sora can appear in this Disney racing game. Don't tell me I'm an idiot. Don't you know that I've got a point? But anyways, that is my kind of roundup of this this roadmap. I'm a lot more positive now than I was with the last one, because having 2 seasons on that, especially 2 that you know, Toy Story 1 there was a precedent for there being tweaks to pre-existing tracks with Pirates of the Caribbean. 2, no track with Winnie the Pooh was just sad and just left a bad taste. Adding a scatter shot of new characters to pre-existing things, there isn't that kind of need or that kind of expectation for there to be a new track as well with that season. Obviously, only having these 3 character seasons and no track does feel like we're getting less bang for our proverbial buck when all these seasons are free anyways. However, I don't feel like new track was necessarily needed. Would it be nice for them to take the opportunity of we're doing a season that doesn't necessarily have a movie attached to it? Why don't we make a track for WALL-E? Why don't we make a track for Tangled? Why don't we make a track for Emperor's New Groove? Why don't we make a track for DuckTales? You know, I don't know. But then again, I don't develop the game. I only sit here and complain, apparently. But anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this most recent Disney Speedstorm roadmap, and let me know if there's anything that you want to see in the future. And also, let me know who you think the mid-season characters are going to be for each season. If I were to predict right now who I think the mid-season characters are going to be, I would have to say Cars season, Goliath Demona. Disney villain season, we're getting 2 extra Disney villains, probably Syndrome and someone else. Friggin' Peter Pan season, I'm going to throw in Basil and Ratigan. I don't think that's what it's going to be. It's either going to be Basil Ratigan or it's going to be Max and Powerline. Those are my predictions. That's also what I would want it to be. I don't necessarily think it's going to be that because I didn't see Up being put into the game at any point. But I do think that's interesting. And I think those characters are having those characters in the game is interesting as well. We could also probably have a Bug's Life, but I think I would like a track with that. Honestly, I would really like a track for a Bug's Life. 2, I don't think they'll do it because the voice actor for the villain in that is Kevin Spacey. I don't think they're going to do that. They could obviously just get a different voice actor to play the villain, to play Hopper from A Bug's Life, but there's too many negative connotations with, with like having a character from a movie with Kevin Spacey in it, and putting that into a game. But I don't know. There's a, that's I think me personally, I think if you change the voice actor, Kevin Spacey's not going to do a thing for a video game anyways. 2, just change the voice actor, get someone who's already doing a voice, or get someone different entirely to do it, who can do a good impression. Do that. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know who you want to be put in the game in the comments below. I'll see you guys then. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.